The next scheduling technique is program evaluation and review technique, also called as PERT. This particular technique is used in case of projects which have probabilistic nature. That means you really don't know what would be the time duration for a particular activity, say in the case of R&D kind of projects. Now when I say probabilistic nature, that means we are assuming a beta distribution in case of PERT. As you are aware, a beta curve looks something like this. So we can consider activity duration on, say, x-axis and the probability of duration on the y-axis. So now there are 3 points to be considered on this curve. The left hand point is called the optimistic time period, denoted by A, which tells you the minimum time. Optimistic itself, the name indicates that it is assuming that there are best conditions for an activity to take place, and that's why it will take minimum time to complete. Same is the opposite is the pessimistic, denoted by B, where we assume that maximum time or the longest time would be taken for a particular activity. The middle one that you see on the peak of the curve is called the most likely, denoted by M, which is the normal time. That means practically what a time would be required to complete a given activity in a project is M. Now the mean or the average of this 3 time periods is denoted by TE, that is the expected time for the completion of an activity in a project. Remember, a project is made up of n number of activities in a network diagram. So program evaluation review technique also assumes a network kind of a structure, where the commonly used network in PERT is AOA, that is activity on arrow. So for every activity in a project, we calculate this TE value based on the A, M and B values. So this TE is calculated by the formula TE equal to A plus 4M plus B whole divided by 6. This will give you the duration of one particular activity. Duration, I mean the expected time duration. Then the next is variance. Variance is expressed by the formula B minus A whole divided by 6 whole square. Variance means the variation in the time estimation of a particular activity. So if the variance is very large, it indicates that the TE is less reliable. That means it is prone to be less accurate, and the project may get delayed or the activity may get delayed. So these are the main formulae. Now in a particular network, when you are drawing a PERT network, you would be drawing an AOA. AOA is activity on arrow, and this particular activities we try to compute the TE and V values for each of these activities. And then along a path we find the summation that will tell you the expected duration of the project along a particular path, that is summation of individual TEs for these activities. Similarly, for variation in a project duration, we do the summation of all the V's that lie in a particular path. Now the drawbacks for this method is a lot of historical data is needed, obviously, because when you are trying to guess these 3 estimates for any given activity, you need to have some reference based on which you will find these 3 time estimates. It is possible that this particular method may give you optimistic results. Some people say it is majorly because of beta distribution, whereas some people claim it that it's just because this 3 time estimates may be faulty and that's why it's giving an optimistic result. But again, that's a debatable issue. I'll not go into that. Now when we calculate the TE and V values for all the activities along the network of a PERT chart or a PERT network diagram, not only do we find the critical path, but we also find the near critical path. Because the PERT Network, as I said, is has a probabilistic nature and is used for projects which has high probability of variance or things getting changed. So in that case, we also consider the near critical paths. These are the paths whose duration is very near to the critical path, and in case if the probability of duration of the particular activity changes on a near critical path, it itself may become critical. That's why both kind of paths are considered in this method. Now to understand this chart or this method, let's consider this example. Now I've already drawn this network diagram, which is of the type AOA. As you can see, the activities are on the arrow. These activities are having these three time estimates: optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic. Now based on these values, I have already calculated the TE and the V values for each and every activity. Now to explain how these are the formulas that I just told you. Let's consider a simple example. Say for activity B, the values of A and B are 1, 2 and 3. So if I replace it in the formula, it would be 1 plus 8 plus 3 divided by 6, which would give me an answer as 2. Similarly here, if I replace it in the formula B minus A divided by 6 whole square, it would be 3 minus 1 divided by 6 whole square, that would be 0.11. It is 4 divided by 36, so that is 0.11. So likewise, I have, as you can see, I have replaced here 2 and 0.11 as the values. So similarly, I have calculated the other values. Now for each path that you see in this network, all the paths are listed here. That is 1, 2, 6, 8, then 1, 7, 8, 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and so on. So all the possible paths are listed here. Along every path, I have done the summation of TE. Say for example, the first path 1, 2, 6, 8. The TE values are 13, 10 and 5. So that would be 28, and correspondingly the V values are also added, which gives me a total of 6.34. Now after finding all the values along each of these paths, I check whichever is the highest value. Remember, critical path is the longest path. That means the path which has the longest duration. So out of these values, this value is the highest value. So I mark it with an asterisk indicating it's a critical path. Similarly, now I have to find a near critical path. Near critical path are identified by values which are very, very close to the critical path. So the immediate next number which is closer is 28. So I mark it with a double asterisk indicating a near critical path. A near critical path can also be identified by value which is the TE value which is closer to the critical path, and also by the value which has a very high variance. If you see this value 27, it is closer to critical path as well as it has a very high variance value. As I have already told you, a very high variance value indicates that this TE value is less reliable. So less reliable, that means there is a chance this path can become critical. So we consider this also as a near critical path. So this is how we find the critical path and near critical path in PERT.